Good morning. Thanks for joining our weather stream. I'm meteorologist Jeff Gerber. For the next 10 minutes, we'll take a look at what's happening as far as today's forecast through the weekend and into next week. Of course, next week is Christmas Day on Thursday, and we have that forecast for you. But looking pretty good. Not looking at much in the way of any active weather over the next 7 days, and warmer conditions are coming in for the weekend. Looks like they're going to be sticking around for next week as well. Rest of the day forecast for today, actually near normal temperatures for this time of year. Normally we'll be looking at highs around 64 or 65. Today we'll jump up to about 63 to 64. So the weather outside is typical of what we see towards the middle part of December. 57 as we head towards 6 o'clock, and then 48 as we head towards 10 o'clock for tonight. We're expecting lows tonight in the lower to middle 40s. So it's going to be a chilly start on Saturday, but we'll keep those clear skies around through the rest of the afternoon and through the overnight as well. We'll start to see some clouds increase as we head towards Saturday, but no rain in the forecast for Saturday. Allergy report is starting to go back up after we saw a couple of days of that allergy report being way down thanks to those cold mornings. We're starting to see a rebound. Tree and weed at medium now. Grass at 0 today, and then mold is on the heavy side way up there. So that's a little bit heavier with some of that rain that we've had. All right, let's take a look outside, and all we're going to see on these sky cams are blue skies as high pressure builds in, and after that week of that cold front that went through, we don't have any clouds across the area. This is up in Jasper, of course. This camera brought to you by Provalis, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network, and then we'll switch down to Port Arthur. I love this camera as we look at the intercoastal blue skies. This camera is brought to you by Market Basket. The reason why I like this camera is we can see those ships go by every once in a while through the intercoastal as we look down towards Port Arthur. Blue skies there. No problems out there today except for just a little bit on the cool side. We'll see temperatures rebound back up into those 70s for the weekend. So should be a pretty nice weekend except for maybe Sunday with a couple of more clouds coming through as a front kind of stalls out across the area. We'll have a shot for maybe a couple of showers, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in our 7-day forecast. All right, let's see if we can switch the camera and look over towards Orange. This is the Horseman's Western Store as we look down I-10, and looks like we don't have any problems on as far as traffic goes on I-10 for this morning. If you're heading out to lunch, maybe heading over to Lake Charles or somewhere like that over the next hour or so, looks like you'll be all right. Our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network from the Horseman's Western Store currently showing 59 degrees in Orange. Humidity way down there. Look at that, 38%. Very dry air out there. And we're seeing an east wind over there. Looking like it's holding pretty steady. East at 9 miles an hour over in Orange. So looking good there. If you're doing any traveling this weekend, looks like it'll be fine. The only problems we have is mainly out towards the west coast, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes here. As you take a look at Packer the Prairie in downtown Beaumont, looking at the Port of Beaumont for this morning, also showing 59 degrees, also showing humidity levels right there around 39%, and we're showing a little bit of an east wind about 3 to 4 miles per hour. So humidity is low, temperatures are nice and mild out there. Looks like a pretty nice afternoon if you have any outdoor plans. Don't have to cancel any plans here. It looks like through the weekend will be okay, but looking very nice out there for this morning. Our temperatures right now are generally into the lower 60s and upper 50s, 59 in Beaumont, 59 in Orange, and then showing 60 in Port Arthur. Actually, that's the only 60 so far we have. Then we're showing 59 in Jasper, Woodville, Kirbyville at 55. Oh, Silsbee there at 61. Then we're showing 58 through parts of southwest Louisiana and over towards Houston, Conroe, Huntsville. They're also looking at 58, upper 50s, 58, 59 right now with clear skies. Clear skies across the entire coast of Texas, no problems there. We do have a few high clouds across northern Texas, Red River Valley, seeing a little bit of cloud cover out there for this morning, but high pressure overhead. That'll eventually slide off towards the east as we head towards Sunday. We do see a front coming in. It's going to reach the area, but not really push through all the way down towards the Gulf, so we won't see a cool down anytime soon. But we might catch a shower or two out ahead of that front as we head towards Sunday. We only have a 20% coverage and maybe a couple of showers then. So maybe a little bit more cloud cover on Sunday and a couple of showers, but that's about it. And that's looks like the only kind of nick in the forecast as we go through the next 7 days. Most days should be dry, and we'll see temperatures generally into the 70s. Let's look around the rest of the country and see where the active weather is. It looks like the Deep South is very quiet from LA through, Albuquerque over to Dallas, Atlanta. Everything looks quiet there. It's the northern tier of the country that's seeing most of the active weather. We'll start over here on the East Coast And you can see, say, from Washington southward, even into Florida, the front has pushed through there, so they're drying out. But the active weather up in New England, where they're seeing some pretty heavy rain, probably some snows in the higher elevations up there, and even some lake effect snow. Still that wind coming in out of the north and west, providing some lake effect snows. You can see the purple boxes in the UP of Michigan, northern Michigan. That's for some winter weather. Also over into, it looks like parts of western New York, maybe parts of West Virginia, up in the mountains there. They're seeing a couple of snow advisories there. As we look towards the center of the country, quiet right now. We have this storm system coming in towards the next couple of days. They're seeing some snow up to parts of the Dakotas, and then it looks like once again up towards the Pacific Northwest. They're getting some more rainfall up there and some snow over the higher elevations. That's all the way into parts of Idaho, Montana, Wyoming as well, and seeing some rain into Northern California. Over the next 7 days, most of the nation should be fairly quiet, but the West Coast will be seeing some active weather as they see some storm systems come in there. So if you have travel plans for the West Coast next week, and this is a little ways out, but right now it looks like that's going to be mostly the active spot as far as weather is concerned as we head towards Christmas. So if you have travel plans for anywhere from Washington State all the way down through California, you might want to keep an eye on the weather as we get into next week if you're traveling early in the week. And of course, I'll be here on Monday and we'll be updating you on this map and letting you know about travel conditions early next week. But right now it looks like that might be the place to watch out for as far as any travel problems as we get in closer towards the Christmas holiday. As we look at our futurecast for today, we're looking at temperatures right into the lower 60s for this afternoon. Then we back off into the 50s and eventually the 40s as we head through the evening hours, and we'll stay right there into the 40s going into tomorrow morning. You might see a few clouds start to increase on Saturday, but we'll stay dry. Temperatures climbing up into the 70s tomorrow, middle 70s. So looking pretty good for your Saturday afternoon if you have any outdoor plans. Nice and warm, well above normal, about 12 degrees above normal for this time of year. Along the coast for today, a small craft advisory that was in place has now been dropped. Northeasterly winds at 10 to 15 knots, seas from 2 to 3 feet. Next high tide is coming up this afternoon at 4:31. Our sunset was at 7:07 this morning. Our sunset tonight's at 5:20. Look for a light chop on the inland lakes and bays. Right now at Texas Point, we're seeing east winds at 11, gusts to 14, and water temperature there in the middle 60s out into the Gulf. So our forecast today, lots of sunshine, no rain, of course. You've got to have a few clouds before we get any rain. We'll see northeasterly winds at about 3 to 8, and temperatures anywhere from about 62 to 64 for later on this afternoon. For tonight, it gets chilly. Once again, you'll need the jacket or maybe even a coat for tomorrow morning, as we'll see lows south of I-10 in the middle to upper 40s. Around I-10 will be in the middle 40s, as well as inland southeast Texas, and then lower 40s up towards the lakes. So those south winds that start to kick in overnight, that's going to warm us up into the 70s as we head towards Saturday. And then again on Sunday, you can see 75 on Saturday, 77 on Sunday. Once again, that front kind of pushes towards us, doesn't go through though, so we don't see a drop off in temperatures next week. It will kick up maybe a couple of showers, especially up farther to the north up in the lakes area as we get a little bit closer to that front. So watch for that a little bit on Sunday. But at this point, with this to 20% coverage, I wouldn't really try to cancel any outdoor plans. I think we'll be okay there. Now, as we look into next week, we see temperatures pretty much holding steady, well above normal. As I mentioned, normal high for this time of year should be about 64, 65. We're going to be closer to that in our morning lows than the afternoon highs. So we're going to stay pretty steady here through next week. 75, 76 on afternoon highs. That includes Christmas Day. Thursday actually looks beautiful. If you have any outdoor plans, maybe you're getting the kids a bike or a scooter or something like that. Great to be outside on Thursday afternoon, 76. I mean, that's really nice. It's going to be warm though. If we get to 77, I believe, 76, 77 on Thursday, that will be probably one of the top 5 warmest Christmases that we've had.